So, since looking into this satanic cult business in Australia, since we're doing the Byron Bay serial killer stuff, this satanic cult stuff in Australia goes back very far and is a lot deeper than a lot of people would
All I
think.
have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for money.
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another banger. And so today we are talking about the Byron Bay serial killer. But when I was doing the Byron Bay serial killer stuff, it seemed that the satanic cult seemed to come up a fair bit. So that is what we are looking into today. And it turns out that this satanic cult stuff is a lot bigger than I guess any of us would have ever thought. There are satanic temples in Queensland, so in Townsville. And so only 4 years ago now, this satanic temple of Townsville was rallying to get Satanism, satanic. So the religion taught in all primary schools in Queensland. Now, obviously, there was a lot of backlash, and this was never going to happen. But this is a real thing. Like, you guys can Google it right now, the Satanic Temple of Townsville, and you will see that this is a very real thing. And it seems to be more and more in your face, this satanic rituals, satanic cult stuff. And you're hearing it more and more on TV, on the news, people doing podcasts about it in the newspaper. It is very, very big. And I guess you always hear about, the Illuminati and celebrities that are involved with, these satanic cults and into doing rituals where, people's lives are getting taken in these rituals. And it was only a couple of weeks ago now where a PDF file slash satanic cult ring was busted in Sydney. Now, there was a whole bunch of blokes there that were using children in style photos that involve satanic rituals and stuff like that. And I'm talking about children's as young as babies were depicted in these pictures. Obviously, very gruesome photos in ritualistic style photos and videos. And so these men were only busted 4 weeks ago in Sydney.
New South Wales Police have charged 4 Sydney men over an international satanic child sex abuse ring. The men were arrested last week by the Child Exploitation Internet Unit after an investigation into ritualistic and satanic-themed child abuse material.
Like, what the hell are these guys thinking?
Police allege the men were involved in distributing the material online using a number of devices. A 26-year-old man from Waterloo has been charged with several counts of making available, accessing and possessing child abuse material. 3 other men in their 30s.
You can only hope that they end up like the last few SA offenders that have ended up not breathing in prison. And people say that these people can't be got to in prison. Well, if you just go and have a Google and have a look at how many of these people have died in the last 12 months in our prison system, you'll be surprised. They can be got to, and they do.
30s and 40s were also arrested. All 4 have been refused bail.
Police will allege in court that the initial examination of those devices has discovered thousands of videos depicting the abuse of live children aged between babies and 12 years of age.
Why did they say it like that? live children. Like, I mean, aren't all children live? Like, why did you say it like that? That was really, really weird.
Amongst these deplorable images were also a number of videos depicting the sexual abuse of animals.
Well, there you go, bestiality as well. And it's this stuff is really, really rampant in our society. So that's out of control right in our backyards. But like I said, I think this is a whole lot deeper than people would ever realise. So if you guys remember a little while back when I first started doing this stuff on the Byron Bay stuff, we spoke about Jackson Stacker. So Jackson Stacker was another one of the young men that went missing from Byron Bay, and there were talks of satanic cults right before the time when he was found in very, very suspicious circumstances. So he was found with a knife right through his chest plate. He was found scalped. They had removed his fingertips and also removed his teeth. And they tried to say that that was suicide or misadventure. Now, I don't know how anyone else can see that, but when someone is found with a big dagger still protruding from their chest when the police find them, and like I said, missing their digits and their teeth, I would say that that is a fair bit more than misadventure or suicide. And this is the thing. So you speak to people that live in and around that area, and it's a very, very common occurrence. And this seems to be the thing. It seems to be something that is under policed. Now it's even been spoken about in Parliament. Also, in my last video, they spoke about there was a serial killer who's been getting away with it for over 40 years in that area. And it's still, for some reason, it seems to be that they just refuse to accept that there is a serial killer that is active in the area. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, because I think it is plain to see that there is definitely a serial killer going on up there in the Byron Bay area, and even all the way up to Surfers Paradise. So all the way up and down there have been people going missing for the last 40 years. And like I said, they have tried to blame it on other people. They tried to blame a lot of bodies on Ivan Milat. And then there was that Ashley Coulston who was the Box Hill Bandit or the Burwood Bandit. And there's been a lot of people who quite possibly could have been the serial killer, but since, like, Ivan Milat's been locked up since the 90s, Ashley Coulston's been locked up since the 90s, but still people are going missing. And the number one thing that you always seem to come across is the satanic cult. And so almost every single person that goes missing has some kind of a link to some kind of satanic cult. So let's take a look. It actually turns out that this satanic cult business has been going on in Australia for a very, very long time. So this is from a 60 Minutes episode from the 1990s, and it's called The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, I was going to put this in full detail, but I don't think that it will get passed on YouTube. So if I do a full detail one, I'll chuck it up on my Patreon. But yeah, let's take a look at this. It is pretty crazy, but a trigger warning, this is pretty crazy.
There's no way I'm going to tell you.
Are you really saying, yes, you did see it, but you're too frightened to tell me?
I do not wish to answer it.
Adelaide and another student of Satan. Katie was lured into evil at university, a highly organised coven on campus.
There was a lady in the coven who had actually, one of the high priestesses, who had actually chosen to or been instructed to get pregnant with the idea of offering the child as a sacrifice. And we had a doctor.
You heard that right. And there was talk about offering a child as a sacrifice.
Who was on the payroll. He wasn't actually a member of the coven, but he was sympathetic to the cause, if you like, who actually agreed to deliver the child and then hand it over to the high priest.
Did that happen?
That actually happened, yes. The delivery.
So you also heard that correct. So, like, people were having children and they were getting taken away, straight off the birth table. So there's no birth certificate or no paperwork or anything like that, and then given straight to these satanic worshippers for ritualistic purposes.
Occurred in the doctor's private rooms, not in a hospital, because the birth would then have had to have been registered.
And what eventually happened to the child?
The child eventually was sacrificed at one of the rituals, in fact, about a week later.
How was the baby sacrificed?
To a knife through the heart.
So, like I said, this wasn't going to be for everyone, but this is how serious it is, and this is what's going on right in our backyards right now.
Does this still go on, do you think?
Yes, yep. In fact, I know of at least 3 witches' covens, even in my area where I live, who meet regularly in various areas and indulge still in the same blood rites and sacrifices.
Katie, how well organised was this coven?
Exceptionally well organised. The meeting places were always well defined in advance. Everybody knew where everybody was going to be. You always knew if somebody was missing. Like, there was always a roll call, there was regular newsletters, there was always somebody in charge of social functions. It was very extremely well organised. I would say along the lines of, a good church organisation.
Katie and Jason are here tonight.
Well, yeah, there you go. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. And like I said, take a look at this. This is on YouTube now, and it's only allowed because it's been up on YouTube since YouTube began. Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed today, the whole thing. So, yeah, definitely jump in there and have a look, because it's absolutely bonkers. And some of the stuff and the ritualistic stuff that goes on there, mainly by these young people, is crazy. What about that? How crazy is that? And as a matter of fact, yeah, there's no way I'd be able to show the whole video of that. It just would not get past, as they're the news, I'm not the news. They're allowed more rules than me. But whatever, I am going to be doing a reaction to that whole video on my Patreon. My Patreon link is in my channel page there in my link section. But yeah, let's go check out the Satanic Temple of NOOSA. That's right. So it actually doesn't stop there. So this is right now, today. This is something that is so out in the front and in the open, and it's just so in your face. This is the Satanic Temple of, well, you will see. Let's take a look.
A small group of religious rebels plan to do the devil's work inside classrooms. The NOOSA Temple of Satan wants its religion taught in schools and is taking its fight to the Supreme Court.
I think most people are Satanists and they haven't realised that.
Hail Satan.
It's not a stunt. It's not funny. It's actually quite dangerous.
He's the black cloak wearing skull
So I think I said Townsville before. I take that back. It is NOOSA.
holding self-proclaimed religion rebel.
Satan to us is a figure of rebellion, and we stand up against arbitrary authority.
Robin Bristow, or Brother Samael Demogorgon, as he's also known, is a devout Satanist, and he's taking on mainstream religion.
So our aim is to get religion out of public sphere. And we see Christians, they're the ones that have taken over the space. They have this incredible privilege that they abuse.
Robin is the head of the NOOSA Temple of Satan, which he started in 2019.
Greetings, heathens. I bring you great news.
Since then, it's held its annual Black Mass on Halloween.
Hail Lucifer.
But now the temple is looking to spread its message of rebellion. It claims its pentagram symbol was recently displayed at a local hospital in its multi-faith room.
Oh, it was very exciting. I've never seen a state government, or any government for that matter, supporting satanic beliefs in that way.
The Sunshine Coast University Hospital put up what appeared to be a pentagram symbol alongside well-known Christian, Buddhist and Hindu symbols.
A very good Queensland Health. We're very proud of you for acknowledging Satanism.
But Queensland Health has shut down the celebration, rejecting the group's claims it was a pentagram symbol, telling A Current Affair in a statement it was in fact a pentacle, an ancient symbol representing the 5 wounds of Christ, and had been on display since 2017. But regardless, it's now removed all symbols from the multi-faith room.
So that is correct. So a pentacle and a pentagram, it's the same star, except one is upside down. Pentagram is upside down. That's the devil worshipping one. And the pentacle is obviously a normal facing
In
star.
a way, it's the fairest way to have things.
The temple has notched that one up as a success, and it's now turning its attention to religious instruction in schools. Robin wants to be able to teach Satanism under religious discrimination laws.
We hope to make use of that law to go into schools and teach satanic religion to those kids whose parents have given authority.
What would be the curriculum you would teach in schools?
I think a good starting point is to look at the Bible and to see the origins of the Bible.
But they don't actually believe in the Bible or even in hell.
Christians believe that there's an afterlife. We're not too sure about that. We're very science-focused.
Here, Robin is pictured standing outside a state high school in Queensland, petitioning parents to give authority for him to teach about Satanism. So far, there are 4 schools where parents have signed.
Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Would you let your children learn Satanism in high school, primary school, any
And up
school?
for their children to take part.
I think we would be much better chaplains than Christian chaplains.
We see them standing outside state schools, dressed in black, with a skull, approaching our children, and that's not okay.
Wendy Francis is from the Australian Christian Lobby.
This is not a stunt. This is actually quite serious. And so parents need to actually really push back on this.
She believes the idea Satanism could be taught in state schools is ridiculous.
Our state says you can't hold a rosary and even pray silently outside an abortion clinic, and yet this man is dressed in black holding a skull and pushing Satanism to our children. It's not okay.
But under the current law, if parents give authority, any religion can be taught in schools once they apply to the principal.
I think there's 100% chance under the current law that we'll be given the chance to teach at schools.
But Queensland's Education Minister, Grace Grace, has said in no uncertain terms, Satanism will not be taught.
It was quite extraordinary for an Education Minister who knows the Act, who knows that religious groups are entitled to teach, has come out and said one particular religion is not allowed to teach over her dead body. I mean, that's a breach of the Anti-Discrimination Act.
Trevor Bell is a lawyer for the NOOSA Temple of Satan. It's now launched legal action against the minister for discriminating against it.
What the NOOSA Temple of Satan is doing is saying, well, if you're going to have such a law, then we'll enjoy the same privileges, and you really still want that law, maybe you should change it.
The temple is also taking on Australia Post. It claims it was discriminated against when its personalised stamp request, like this, was rejected. Robin submitted a similar stamp design which said Church of Christ, which he says was accepted.
And so this is a clear case of discrimination, and we look forward to seeing what the Human Rights Commission has to say about that.
The temple also wants prayers stopped in Parliament and says it won't stop until it gets its way.
And so we are merely humble servants of the Dark Lord and following his commandments. So yes, of course we are trouble causers.
Australia Post said it reserves the right to refuse orders which it believes do not meet community standards or expectations, and the full statement is on our website.
Well, yeah, there you go. It blows my mind that that's right, that in your face. And it actually blows my mind that if the parent says it's all right, that they can actually teach it in our schools. Well, there you go. Satanism in Australia. That's as real and as upfront as it gets. But this is only just touching the surface. So I'm going to be delving right into this, and we're going to be going right into the serial killings that's going on around the Byron Bay area, and we're going to be taking a deep, hard look into the satanic aspect of this as well. But let me know what you think in the comments section, guys. Did you think that this was something that was going on? Did you think that there was active satanic stuff going on in your neighborhood? Did you think that there was satanic churches? Let me know what you think in the comments section, guys. And like I said, this is only surface level stuff, and we're going to be diving right in on this stuff. So yeah, if you guys haven't already subscribed, this is the time when you want to be subscribing. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. And we also do members only videos where you, being the paying member, gets your only videos. And so they are for the members, so the other normal subscribers don't get to see them because they are for the paid members. And for that reason, they aren't for everybody because they are a paid membership, but it is an absolute awesome way to get in there and show your support for the Chaos Chronicles. And yeah, we've been dropping a few videos, members only, per week. So yeah, get in there and have a look. But anyway, guys, I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. We